what would be better for you though, like, and it's kind of cool that we're all comic artists up here in one form or another. Well, you write for comics, that's still an art form. But what I would recommend actually is start doing a comic kind of thing, and the reason for that is because comics are actually entertaining storyboards. You can actually, like with a comic, you can skip the storyboarding process almost because you have pretty much how you want it laid out in a cinematic format anyways. And from that point on, you know, you can pitch it to studios if you know, and they might actually be able to take, you know, if it's good, if they like it, they might actually go, you know, start you through the process of animating it. If not, one webcomic that I was a part of, I didn't create it, but I was a part of their community, was Life of Riley, which is, now that was like 2000 through 2002 era there. But there's a website called Clan Bob, and so many different people were so attracted to that comic that we ended up getting animations for it anyways. They animated it, they voice acted it, everything. We didn't have to do shit.
But he had a second question. So, do you know anywhere where I can find a book or something to how to draw furries?
Actually, there is a book. I think it's by Christopher Hart. It's How to Draw Chibis and Furries.
Okay.
Don't go with his style because he's wrong. I hate to say that, but anyway. Practice drawing people, practice drawing animals. It will come to you. And I mean, the more realism that you do, the more you'll understand what you can change, and the more you can change how you want your furries to look. I didn't really, like, I submitted a lot of werewolf artwork to White Wolf, and then a lot of it's in their archives for pending publication. Like, it actually hasn't been published there, but it's in their consideration list. And that was because I didn't follow any format. I was just like, people wolves, okay. They don't look like anything else. So that's the best recommendation I would have, is practice drawing people. Find the Drawing Dynamic series of books is amazing because it'll teach you how to draw all of those really cool poses that you want to. And then like you can find books on drawing animals all over the place. They're actually even easier to find than people drawing books. And once you mesh the two, it'll just click after you do it for a while. And, yeah.
Awesome. You can also Google it. There's a lot of people who have a lot of websites. I don't have them with me off the bat. They do tutorials also. That's how basically I learned a lot of the stuff is on hand, my own. Went online, Googled stuff, saw the different formats, Photoshop, how they did the cells, chibis and everything. And then you copy them first, and then you create your own. But if you want a specific step-by-step, I recommend the internet. It's why you can find anything in there. You don't actually have to go buy a book. You can basically just go online. You basically sometimes will find that book online.
Now, there was some, actually, I have to apologize. It was kind of interesting that you mentioned Christopher Hart, because I was going to recommend him a different book from Christopher Hart altogether. Because the man actually animated for Don Bluth Studios. He worked for Disney, but he doesn't, like, his how-to books really aren't as good as his animation books, like the how to animate. Like, the man understands how, you know, because that's what he did for a living. That was his life forever and ever until the studios folded. And so he started doing the little how to draw manga books. He doesn't have quite a grasp of that because like, he kind of just started copying the how to draw manga books. I'm not kidding there. But his animation books, if you can find any of Christopher Hart's animation books, good. Because that man, like, he'll show you how to, in between, with minimal effort, he'll show you how to lay things out on a plane so that you can easily animate them walking realistically in the environments that they are, and all these really nice techniques for how to do that. Which is also the reason I realized that I didn't want to go into that field. That was, like, one, there's people like him out there, whoa. And then there's two, this is too tedious for me. So, but if you want an animation book, his animation books are worthwhile. His how to draw books aren't so much.
I mean, the techniques, all the books, you know, the techniques, you know, they're pretty much the same thing. Because like we said, there's a basic foundation of how to do something. So everyone's going to have pretty much the same thing in all the books. But just look around and eventually you'll find a technique that works for you.
What's the difference between traditional art and digital art?
One's with a computer or one's with not.
Well, how do you draw with the computer?
They have, like, I actually have a tablet PC, so I can just flip the screen around and draw it like it's a sketchbook. Yeah. They have, and this is much more beneficial cost-wise anyways, my first paycheck ever went into a little side tablet, which it was, I believe the Wacom has replaced the Graphites, which is what I have, with the bamboo funds. And they're like $80, like anywhere, they're really not that expensive. They come with all the software that you need. And the tricky part is you're drawing here, but you're looking here, because this is your computer monitor for that. You get used to that after playing around with it for a little while, and that's how you would draw in there. Otherwise, I'd say scan it in, like, draw out, black and white, whatever. If you want to do digital colors, for example, just scan it in and follow any of the various techniques that are out there to, just color.
So it's pronounced Wacom. All this time I've been pronouncing it Wacom.
So do you do digital or?
Yeah, I do both.
He has a question too.
Which one to go?
Yeah, continue. We'll get to you. Right.
There really isn't much of a difference. It is more easier digital, but it's also time consuming. What I've noticed since I do also traditional regular drawing and digital, sometimes your style you first start off will change a little from your hand to digital. It'll be a little bit different. Sometimes it'll be easier to do it on hand, and when you're doing it on a Wacom tablet, you don't really sometimes get those really fine lines until you practice, like you said, practice over and over. But the difference is not really, it's just the convenience. You don't have to scan it over, fix the coloring, because sometimes it gets all gray. You don't have to erase the lines, you can just do a real quick sketch on the computer, and then it also has a way you can trace it, so you don't have to redraw it over again. Like it's better. That's what people are going more towards. Digital coloring also, instead of just doing it hand. There really isn't much of a difference. It's just the materials you use. You go, computer-wise to colors and pencils and markers.
I never understood those tablet things. How do you erase?
Flip the pen over, erase.
What?
You either select the erase tool or you flip the pen over like you do a pencil and just erase. It's really not that hard.
Yeah, it depends on the program and the hardware.
What program would you recommend for digital art?
I use Adobe Photoshop Elements.
I use Adobe Photoshop straight up. I got the professional edition.
I use Microsoft Word.
I use Adobe. Corel Painter gives you more of the, like if you actually painting something like oil, Photoshop. I mean, you can do basically almost anything with both of them. It's just people like Corel more, and they always like Adobe better.
Painter's a little cheaper, which is one of the immediate draws to it. What turned me off though was waiting for my watercolors to dry. It simulated waiting for my watercolors to dry. I'm like, nah, okay, go.
And one of the things that I hear complained is, the professional edition of whatever program, it's so expensive. But if you're in college, then maybe you can get a student discount.
Or you can do what I did and get someone else to buy it for you. I volunteered as a Photoshop consultant because I had training in Photoshop. It's because of school, and I was like, yeah, but I don't have the program, so I can't really show it to you guys. But I'll take it instead of payment. And they bought it for me.
Sweet.
Or you can also download a sample, which is usually a 30-day trial, or that's what I usually use for a long time until I got my own full edition. I would use just a partial one you can get off the website, and that's mainly all you need until you learn how to do further than that.
Yeah.
If you want to just start off the basics, just download the samples.
Yeah, just recommend the trial so that way you learn which one works for you best, which one you can.
Or you drop all the cash.
Yeah. Try before you buy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.